Welcome back to this already, the final segment of today's Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Like I promised, Lance Malone, he's here. He's here for another segment, and he's with a great company that is called Standard Supply, taking care of businesses, really taking care of businesses that take care of individuals and businesses when it comes to their AC needs since 1946. And delighted, as always, to have you on the show. Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, Kevin. It's good to be here again today.
Tell us a little bit about Standard Supply and then introduce your guest that I think a lot of my audience is already going to be familiar with.
Okay. Standard Supply is a distributor of heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, and ventilation products. And what we do is we provide the products to the best contractors in Texas to help them come into your home and business and take care of your comfort needs as well as your refrigeration and ventilation needs. And I'm really excited today. We've got Chris Crawford on the show with us. Chris is the HVAC manager for Abacus Plumbing and Air Conditioning here in the Houston area, and you can find out more about his company at abacusplumbing.net. That's abacusplumbing.net. Yeah,
and if you have a TV, you've probably seen commercials on it. They're very authentic. They do a very good job articulating Abacus, and you guys have been around for a long time taking care of people's homes.
That is correct, sir. Abacus has been around for about 11 years now. We started off as just a plumbing company. About 2 years ago, we initiated the HVAC side. We've really grown that side of the business over the past couple of years, and we're very happy to be serving the Houston area.
Yeah, very good. Go ahead there, Lance.
Yeah, Chris, you told us a little about Abacus there. Tell us a little about your background.
Well, I grew up in HVAC. I was born and raised in Killeen, Texas, just a little north of Austin, kind of between Austin and Waco, and my family owned an HVAC company, and so I started working as slave labor, I guess, during the summertime when I was about 10. By the time I was 19, I realized that it was time to move on. So I joined the U.S. Air Force and went into aircraft maintenance. Ended up staying for 20 years. Retired as a senior master sergeant in the United States Air Force. Got back out and went right back to HVAC. That's what I know and that's what I love. Went back to Killeen for a little while and then ended up at Abacus here in Houston. I've been here now for about 6 months. I took over the HVAC side in December. Great group of guys there. Best technicians in Houston. We're very, very picky about who we hire, what their training is, and what their ultimate goals are. And just a great group of technicians.
How old is Abacus?
Abacus itself is 11 years old, sir.
Okay. You would get the impression it's even older. I mean, that's a long time. It's an established company, obviously. But I tell you, you guys have done a phenomenal job of conveying stability and strength. And it's very impressive what you've done. Lance?
Yeah, Chris, it sounds like you've been involved in airplanes and air conditioners. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, and that's air quality. And I wanted to ask you about one of the most common complaints you hear about from customers in terms of the air quality in their homes or businesses.
Well, the most common cause or complaints that we hear is that it's musty or humid or very dusty in the home. It definitely has a lot to do with the humidity in the Houston area, of course, especially the musty and dusty type smells. Dust in the home is typically coming from some infiltration type issues that we see. But those are the most common complaints that we hear about the air quality within the people's homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I notice you do both plumbing and air conditioning. What percentage of your business is what?
Well, up until this year, the plumbing side has probably been closer to 70%. I'll tell you that we had a little competition this month, and it looks like the HVAC side this month is actually going to do a little larger business than the plumbing side. So at this point, I would say we'll probably be about 50-50.
Wow, that's fantastic. Go ahead, Lance.
Yeah, Chris, why do so many people have problems with dust and other particles and things in the air inside their home?
Well, the most common cause that we see is infiltration, and that's where, of course, your AC unit is running and it's pulling air into the HVAC system. The question is where is it getting that air from? Is it pulling it from the outdoors? Is it pulling it from the indoors? A lot of times we'll see that it's actually pulling that air from the attic space itself. So what we're really looking for is leaks around windows, around doors, leaks in the ceiling area around like recessed lights, things of that nature. So that's where we see a lot of the dust and dirt that you'll see laying around your house on the kitchen table.
What are some of the solutions that you guys can offer to address that problem?
Well, of course, we'll always recommend, upgrading the filtration system itself. Typically, in most residential homes, you'll see the little 1-inch filters that are in the ceiling. They don't really do a very good job of filtration at all. So we'll try and upgrade the filtration system itself to start off with. What we really want to do is take a look at the system itself. Let's seal the ductwork so that the air coming out of the system is not actually sucking in any of your insulation from your attic space or dust from the attic space. We'll look at your windows, your doors, all of the light sockets around, even the sockets in the walls that you would typically plug in lamps. We'll try and seal those up so that we're not pulling any dust or dirt from where we don't want it to be pulled from.
Yeah. By the way, the website is abacusplumbing.net. Abacus, Abacus, abacusplumbing.net. Go ahead there, Lance.
Well, what kind of solutions can you offer, Chris, to address the problem once you find these trouble spots and keep the air clean in the home?
Well, we definitely want to go around and seal up any leaks or air leaks in the home or air filtration issues. If it's a mold issue or a mildew type issue, a real musty smell in the house, a lot of times that's due to the humidity in the home. We can put in dehumidification systems to help really pull that humidity out of the air. We can also bring in fresh air from the outside. What we found is that newer homes are being built a lot tighter than the older style homes. Older homes, of course, a lot of infiltration. Newer homes are very tight, but it's hard to bring in fresh air in a very tight sealed house, especially when you have a blown in, the expandable foam insulation and things of that nature. So we really need to look at, do we have the right amount of fresh air coming in?
What are the businesses or the homes that they already have a filtration system and their system is not old? They're not looking to replace a system. What can you do in that situation?
Well, we see a lot of older style filtration systems. They could be made from any of the numbers of manufacturers out there. But what we found is that the newer filtration systems really operate at a much higher level. April Air, as a matter of fact, now has a system that we can actually install an April Air filter, either a MERV 11 or MERV 13 filter, into, say, a Honeywell cabinet. And so we don't actually have to change the entire filtration system out. We just need to change the type of filter that goes in it.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah.
Now, how can the listeners find out if they have an infiltration problem?
Well, the easiest way, of course, would be to call us up. We can send technicians out to your house. They'll go around the home and look for the obvious leaks in the house, especially around the doors and windows and things of that nature. We've got a what we typically call a smoke pen, where we could walk around the home and it'll actually follow the airflow in the house so that we can see what direction the airflow is going, where the air is being pulled from. If it's coming from the outdoors, and of course you're going to get all the stuff from the outdoors to the inside of the house. And so the idea is to make sure that we have the proper seals around your doors, proper seals around your windows. Same thing in your sockets, light sockets in the ceiling and the light sockets in the walls. Typical normal place for us to have filtration, so we want to seal all those areas up.
Okay. Now there are some other ways to do that, but they tend to be kind of pricey, right?
Well, that is true, yes, sir. You'll see some of the companies will offer the what they call the blower door assembly checks, and very convoluted, very time consuming, very expensive to do that. We'll see them. Some of the companies will walk around with the infrared cameras, also very expensive to do those checks. Our checks are a little more practical and a lot less expensive to do that.
Got to wrap it up. Lance Malone and Chris Crawford. Lance, of course, he's with Standard Supply. Your website over there, real quick?
Yes, it's ssdhvac.com.
And then Chris Crawford, he's with Abacus Plumbing and Air Conditioning now. abacusplumbing.net. Thanks to both of you, gentlemen, for a great segment.
Thanks for having us, Kevin.
Telling us more about your story. All right, when we come back tomorrow, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. You're listening to and have been listening to The Price of Business.